Now, keeping it simple, as I told you, ventral wall of ventricular septum will fuse with the ventral cushion of septum intermedium and dorsal horn of ventricular septum with the dorsal cushion of septum intermedium. Same way, right and left bulbar ridges, the right bulbar ridge will be in line with the dorsal horn of the ventricular septum and the left bulbar ridge will be in line with the ventral horn of ventricular septum. Keep it simple. Now our diagram, the diagram which follows now will be, this will be the diagram which we are looking at from the front. This is our bulbus cordis, and from here we are going to draw the entire ventricular cavity. So therefore, bulbus cordis, I will just mention this as bulbus cordis here, and this I will mention this as primitive ventricular cavity from the front. As this is from the front, the atria will be dorsal to it, behind it. And here we are going to draw a small, very small, at this point we are going to draw a very small openings, and these small openings will be the communication. These are the two atrioventricular canals through which the primitive ventricle will communicate with primitive atria. Therefore, now here, if I draw simply, and I will draw in this way, this I am drawing it as, I am putting color in the ventral cushion of septum intermedium, ventral cushion of atrioventricular valve, and here this I am drawing it as dorsal cushion of atrioventricular valve. So here I will name this as, this portion as the ventral cushion of septum intermedium, and this structure will be dorsal cushion of septum intermedium. Very simple. Now what we need to show is, from the floor there will be ventricular septum. So that, since I have used blue color, I will use blue color. From the floor there will be development of ventricular septum. So this is how the ventricular septum will develop from the floor portion here. Now the thing that we have to consider will be, which we have to keep it in mind, will be the ventral and dorsal horn. Please note down, the ventral horn will of the ventricular septum will fuse with the ventral cushion of septum intermedium. So here I will draw this ventral horn and I will fuse it with this cushion. So this is how the ventral horn of ventricular septum will fuse with the ventral cushion of septum intermedium. Then the dorsal horn. Now the dorsal horn of this will fuse with the dorsal horn of this will fuse with the dorsal cushion of, I will highlight this, dorsal cushion of septum intermedium. Therefore, here we will create a small space, we will leave this small space as it is, and we will draw it in a concave margin. This is the concave margin which we need to draw. So here, this is the ventral horn of ventricular septum fusing with the ventral cushion of septum intermedium. This is the dorsal horn of ventricular septum fusing with the dorsal cushion of septum intermedium. Very simple. And therefore, to make it more simple, here we will name this as the ventral horn of ventricular septum, and here we will name this as the dorsal horn of ventricular septum. So ventral horn of ventricular septum will fuse once again with the ventral cushion of septum intermedium and dorsal horn of ventricular septum with the dorsal cushion of septum intermedium, leaving a small gap here. This gap will be known as the interventricular foramen. So therefore it is interventricular foramen, or it will be also known as ventricular foramen. Here, this is the name which is given to this foramen. Now we show truncus arteriosus. As I told you, it will later on divide into, or it will differentiate, or it will develop into so many structures. Out of that, important structures are aorta and pulmonary trunk, distal end. Now in order to develop aorta and pulmonary trunk, that will be a next topic. We just need to show at this stage the four cushions, the four valves. Those four valves which we need to show will be the right and left. Here I am showing this as the right and the left. These are the right and the left bulbar ridges of proximal bulbar septum. So therefore here this one will be the right and left bulbar ridges of the proximal bulbar septum, and just above here we can show in cross section that these are the valves of truncus arteriosus, ventral and dorsal valve, and the right and the left valves. Out of that, the right and the left valves, they will develop as right and left bulbar ridges from the right wall of bulbus cordis and from the left wall of bulbus cordis. So therefore here I will simply name this as the right bulbar ridge, and here I will name this as the left bulbar ridge. Now what will happen? Very simple. The right bulbar ridge will fuse with the which portion of the ventricular septum? Dorsal horn of ventricular septum. And the left bulbar ridge will fuse with the ventral horn of ventricular septum. Very simple. So therefore now in the next diagram what we can show is that the right bulbar ridge has fused. It will go down and it will fuse with the, in this way. So it will fuse with this right bulbar ridge, it will fuse with that of the dorsal horn of ventricular septum. And here we show that this left bulbar ridge, it will fuse with the ventral horn of ventricular septum. Right bulbar ridge with the dorsal horn of ventricular septum, left bulbar ridge with the ventral horn of ventricular septum. Once again, right bulbar ridge with that of the dorsal horn of ventricular septum, and the left bulbar ridge with that of the ventral horn of ventricular septum. And at the same time, both the bulbar ridges will fuse with each other. So therefore now, both the bulbar ridges, they will fuse with each other like this. They complete this fusion with each other also. Now at this stage, after following these points, very simple, at this stage if we come on this side and if we show here, there was presence of, in this diagram also I will show that interventricular foramen is present here. Where is interventricular foramen? It is a small space of small foramen present in the concave margin cephalic to ventricular septum. So here this is the presence of this foramen. Here this is the presence of interventricular foramen. Now this interventricular foramen which is present here is filled by, it will be partially closed by the proximal bulbar ridges, right and left bulbar ridges, when they join with each other as well as when they join with the ventricular septum. So therefore here in this diagram, when we come, please come on this side, when we have shown that the proximal bulbar septum has developed, how it has developed? by fusion with each other. The right and left bulbar ridges, they fuse with each other, as well as the right bulbar ridge fusing with the dorsal horn of ventricular septum and the left bulbar ridge fusing with the ventral horn of ventricular septum. Because of this fusion, the entire ridge that is fused will be known as proximal bulbar septum, where my hand is there. And because of this proximal bulbar septum, the portion of interventricular foramen partially has been closed. Please note down. So therefore, in the second stage, the right bulbar ridge and left bulbar ridge will fuse with each other. They form the proximal bulbar septum, as well as the right bulbar ridge will fuse with that of the dorsal horn of ventricular septum and the left bulbar ridge with that of the ventral horn of ventricular septum, and they will partially close the interventricular foramen. Here we finish our second stage. Now we come to, please come on this side. Continue, please keep it continue. Here we come to the last stage. What is this septum intermedium? Still at this point. Now here, if I show that this septum intermedium is fused, the dorsal and ventral cushions have fused, this is septum intermedium. Now if I show that these bulbar ridges are fused with the ventricular septum, of course it is in a twisted manner and this is sagittal section, so we simply show that here these two bulbar ridges, first of all they will fuse with each other and at the same time they will fuse with the ventricular septum in this way. So they have fused with ventricular septum, although we know that the right bulbar ridge with that of the dorsal horn and the left bulbar ridge with that of the ventral horn. That is what it is in twisted manner. But at this point, since the fusion of proximal bulbar septum, septum intermedium and the ventricular septum, still a space is left here and this space is the remaining part of interventricular foramen. So in the third stage, there will be proliferation from septum intermedium. As the third stage is there, proliferation from septum intermedium, and that proliferated growth from septum intermedium, if I put it in this way, it will grow and it will close the interventricular foramen. So this growth here is a proliferation from the endocardial cushion of the right side of septum intermedium. This is what you have to show, and therefore here also we will show that there will be a mass which will develop in the form of proliferation, and this mass which is developed in the form of proliferation is endocardial cushion, the growth from right side of septum intermedium. Coming up in next segment.